Well, that's another big part of my business are the people who they think that they can DIY it, and that's where I really try to sell my clients. I'm not the most expensive, I'm not the least expensive. It's just me, so I'm not an agency. I don't have overhead or very little overhead. So I try to price myself to be very competitive, for small businesses, because I'm a small business.
Yeah.
When I started, I had expenses and all this stuff. A lot of my clients will come to me and say, well, I tried it on Wix. I tried it on Squarespace. I thought I could be a DIYer. It's like, well, you have a business to run. If you're not going to put, it's 1 foot in or 1 foot out. Or you can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
And there's not a ton of web designers coming out of college these days. We've passed that bandwagon. They're all employed. They're writing AI prompts now. So you can't just think you're going to hire somebody at 30 grand to build a website for you. The world doesn't work that way. I can't find them. If you know some, please send them my way. I'd rather do that than to pay the freaking amount of money I'm paying my web designer to do a bad job.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing is for me to tell somebody that your website that you built is absolutely awful. It's doing nothing for you. Had a potential client reach out to me last week. They're importing wines from Croatia. One of the only
Croatian wines are good wines. Man.
And as far as I know, they're the only ones in the Southeast. I used to have a client that she was the only one. So we built this website. Can you come and kind of finish up the e-commerce part of it? So they give me the URL, I look at it. I'm from Boston. I can be pretty blunt, but I also try to kind of
soften it a little bit.
A little bit. I'm like, your logo is this. It's garbage. It's 5 paragraphs of why somebody should buy your wine. And so,
so let me just throw this in here, and I want to go to break. But one of the things I found, like, when you conduct business that way, the only sensitivity is price, and you're making yourself a race to the bottom because you're commoditizing the service which you have, right? If you're saying this is Croatian wine, it's cheaper than Italian wine, you should buy it. Great, there's a business for that. But if you don't have scale, then why are you killing yourself to do business? People want curated experiences, whether they like it or not. And the only way you curate experience is to have pictures of Croatia and explain the different places. And hey, do you know it's right across the street, the Mediterranean Sea from Italy? Like, they need that curation, and a website does a good job of it. But if not, all you are doing is creating a commoditization, and your price is the only sensitivity. So go sell on Amazon. If you're the cheapest, people are going to buy it. Doesn't mean you're going to make any money. So that's a good note to leave it. You listen to the Marketing Madman on Extra 106.3, and we will be right back. Welcome back to the Marketing Madman on Extra 106.3. Nick Constantino here with Jason Sear, and we're gonna finish this conversation up with some more practical advice for listeners, because we haven't done a web design episode. I've seen good ones, I've seen bad ones. It changes so quickly. Like you talked about, dynamic content was huge, and I'm not saying it's not big now. That's why a lot of people are doing podcasts and video, because those are fit into these algorithms. But what are some things that just you're seeing them when you're doing design? You're like, how are people still making these mistakes?